Hi everyone, I just wanted to give a bit of an update. Today is the 2nd of December 2013 and my game rant videos are about to run out. And what I mean by that is that what I had done in the past is that I had recorded a whole batch of them and then set them to upload every Saturday, once every week, every Saturday at a specific time. And I haven't actually recorded any of those for a while, and the batch that we're on is actually about to run out. I think I did 24 total, and I haven't done any since then, so they are about to end. This doesn't mean I plan to retire doing game rants altogether. It just means that that's how much I've done for now. I might leave it for a bit so that I don't have that, that schedule that I've got to stick to, even though it wasn't too hard to do. But I might just leave it for a bit and instead do other things. Now, when I say do other things, well, first of all, you may have noticed that I recently did a fan fiction reading, and I also did a Sparkle quiz. Neither of which are really meant to be like a big thing that, ooh, that's a big thing that I aspire to do. Not at all. They're just like little things on the side that I felt like doing at the time. And if I want to make more, then I will. Depends on, I suppose, how I'm feeling. But they're not my main focus, and my rants at the moment have been my main focus recently. But I want to move on to something else for a while, and this is a big project that I've got in mind, and it takes a lot of work to do. I want to make a new video series on my favourite games. It's going to be a top games list. Now, whilst, everyone's done a top 10, top 20 or whatever, I'm wanting to do a top 500. Sounds ambitious, I know, and it sounds really over the top, and you could say it sounds unnecessary, but it's something that I would like to do. I am actually in the process at the moment of trying to compile the list of my top 500 games, and of course this is going to be limited to games I've played enough to feel that I have enough knowledge of it. So of course when you get to like the bottom of the pile, like the 400s to 500s, they're not going to be anything that I think is magnificent by any stretch of the imagination. It's just going to be a list of games that I have played, and they are going to be ranked, and I am currently in the process of ranking them. It's actually a very long and difficult process actually trying to rank these games, and I actually do have a method that I'm trying to stick by as to be able to get this list of 500 games. It's not something that I would expect to ever be perfect. Of course, you can have a top 10 list of anything and you can change your mind on the spot. That happens, but I'm just doing this for the sake of the exercise of doing it. I think it would be interesting to do. I think it would be a unique thing to do as well because of just the scale of the whole thing. But more than just that, I really want to make it a game showcase where I show people and talk about the games that I have played and what I think about those particular games. And I think a top list is a good way to do it. And with a list as big as 500, then that can, that's a lot of games. I originally made a list of all the games I believed that I have ever played, and that list came to about 870 about. So it's not half of the list of all the games I've ever played, but it will be a fraction of the games I have played. It'll be slightly more than half, and there'll still be a few hundred that I have played that I haven't put on this list. I just think it's going to be an interesting thing to do. Now, as for when I'll finish this list, I can't answer that question because, to be honest, I have no idea. I don't know how long it's going to take. It could take ages. But the format that I'm wanting to do this series in is I want to start off with a episode which is about introducing the series, talking about what it is, what I've done, how I've come to my decision, and I'll clear up anything that's like uncertain, like, or am I including certain types of games, or am I imposing a particular rule, like particular rules on myself? I will be answering those questions because I think those are questions that are very important to answer. So I'm going to be spending an episode doing that. As for the actual videos themselves, what I'm hoping to do is to have a series of videos, and in each part I might talk about, I don't know, it depends on where I'm in the list as well. But I'll talk about so many games, like if I'm at the bottom of the list, I might spend one video talking about maybe 20 games, just quickly going over them, saying at number 500 it's this, and then spend like 20 seconds saying what it is, and then at number 499 it's this, and then spend 20 seconds or so telling you what it is. So as I get further through the list, there's going to be more time dedicated to specific games. Like when I get to say my top 30, I'm going to want to spend some time actually describing why I think those games are as fantastic as they are. And especially like getting into like my top 5, I don't know how I'd be able to shut up. But we'll see. It might be that when I get to the final one, I'll have just like one video dedicated to number 1, and I might have like one video dedicated to number 2 and 3. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I think that's going to be interesting, and that's the thing that I'm wanting to do. Will I have other videos on the side whilst I'm preparing this? Possibly. I actually have recorded 2 more Sparkle quizzes, this time both of them game related. I don't know, the thing is with Sparkle quizzes is that I don't know how entertaining they are. I imagine that they're actually not very entertaining, to be honest. But I have this feeling that, someone might like them, and I have fun doing them. And, I have like funny moments where I get angry that I can't remember something. So, I don't know, maybe there's a few people who really like them. Or maybe, there's some potential there. So I have 2 of those already done that will be ready to go up I don't know when they're ready to go up, but I've still got a couple more rants that are scheduled to go up. I think there's 2 more left, I don't know. And I'm going to get working on this top games list. How many episodes is this top games list going to be? That's a good question, I hear myself asking. I honestly have no idea. I'm thinking if I'm starting at like 20 per video, and then maybe I'll go down to 15 per video, and then eventually to 10 per video, like talking more about the games as I go further up. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It could be like, well, if it's an average of 10 per video, that's 50 videos. I don't know how long the videos are going to be. It could take a lot of time, but hey, it's a big project, and if I'm talking about so many games, even for just a bit, then I think it's worth all that time that's going into them. I think it's something that I'm going to have a lot of fun doing. It's going to be a lot of work as well, and it is a lot of work. I'm actually also thinking of possibly making a making of episode afterwards where I show how like what method I use to rank them and the troubles that I've had trying to rank them and stuff. Maybe it's a thought. Well, yeah, so that's the future plans. Game Rants could be be getting made afterwards, or I could even be making more Game Rants during this. Who knows? I might be doing other things. I might just be busier in life in general by that point. You never know what could happen, so I can't really give you any word on what could happen, but that's my plans. And it's a big project, and I hope you look forward to it, and I hope that you really, I hope you enjoy it when it does come up. One thing that I do actually want to mention is that with it being a top 500 list and this being restricted to obviously just games I've played, and I just want to address this straight up because I know there will be people out there who will say, and completely reasonably so, and I completely understand, that 500 is too much, not because it's too much to watch, but by the time you get so far down the list to the lower numbers, you're really not talking about games that you like all that much because there's so many of them. All the ones that you like are above. And that's kind of true. But I want to see what I can make out of this. I want to see if I can do it. And if it turns out that 500 is far too much, that I simply cannot rank the ones before that, then that I simply cannot rank the ones that are at the lower end of the range, then it might be that I lower the number to 400 or maybe even 300, but my aim is for 500. So that's that. And as I said before, that it's going to be difficult trying to rank all these games, I know, but I'm going to try my best. And even still, I will be making that extra video at the beginning that has like all the disclaimers and everything. So it's a challenge. It's something to do, and it's something that I'm going to enjoy doing, which I've repeated probably a few times now. And I think one of the big things about this is that not only is it like insight to me and the game and like my gaming world as I have been exposed to games throughout my life, I think it's also a sign of I've completely forgot what I was going to say. I hate it when that happens, especially when I'm recording, you know. I just forget what you're going to say, and then you start rambling on about forgetting what you're going to say as it means to try to cover dead air like I am right now. That is not good, and I also do that. I also say that is not good, and I always say things like that, and I'm doing the same thing now. I should stop. But I was going to say something and that didn't help remind me. But I will say that it's going to be really nice to be able to showcase a lot of games, and yeah, I think I am going round in circles now. So before I go round for my next lap round this circle, I will just end this here. So thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.